ムやる時間決める僕たちは約束守る
約束を守って楽しいゲームがいつもより楽しくなるよ
Mesdames et messieurs, bonjour, hello everyone, and welcome to Sense of Wonder Night 2022. 皆さん、こんにちは。そして Sense of Wonder Night 2022へようこそ。
皆さん、こんにちは。司会を務めますゲームジャーナリストの新清です。
はい、同じく司会を務めさせていただきますイザベルです。
I am Isabel, today's moderator from Makuhari Messe. We are broadcasting from here. And I know how many times we have conducted this. Yes, it's been the 15th anniversary. So it's really a cornerstone, isn't it? Yes. And then we have updated our technologies and then we have a lot of products associated with them. Yes, you're right. And then I guess probably we used to have this event in the restaurant been closed already, but you can see that in accordance with the history of the area, we've been holding this event, and in the past few years we have implemented this online, but this time. And we are looking forward to this 15th event and all across the world. And this sense of Wonder Night is now expanding across the world. But this is the first time for you to watch this event. Therefore, I just would like to share the concept. Shin-san, can you please? Yes, sense of Wonder Night has got a very clear-cut concept, as you can see. And at a glance, and once you hear the concept, you are able to relate to yourself, and you can change the sense of the worldview, and that sort of ideas should be identified and discovered through this event. And we've got the indie game and advanced entry products are there, and 583 titles have been submitted from the 56 countries, and the largest submission, and then 78 titles have been pre-screened and selected, and of that, 8 titles are selected and nominated as finalists. And others nominated finalists are breaking down into the countries such as the UK, Netherlands, Singapore, and France, and Japan, 2 products. And since then, we have got the biggest entry and applications. And do you remember how many were there last year? I think it was just in around 200 titles. Last year it was just 286, but now this year we got 583, so it's more than double. More than double. Yes, that's amazing. And this is the largest entry in application. It means that the indie game is such a boom all across the world, and that is a symbol. And compared to the 15 years ago, I think just a part of the people were involved in the game development, but you can see quite a lot of people were engaged in the development. Yes, you're right. If you look back up on the 15 years, we've got a lot of products, variety of products. Do you remember the title? Yes. Let me just share the last year's titles. Last year title finalists here, and they have employed quite a lot of novel concepts, just like driving in the darkness, or you were supposed to find the characters, and those new concepts were adventure. And it was almost like a norm, and under the circumstances, and you really had to be the novelist one, and that was the feature. Yes, we had a lot of ideas and quite a lot of video footage, and also the visuals have become very intricate. You're right, and we got the 8 titles we're going to introduce from now. Shin-san, please. And we've got 8 titles, and they are broken into 2 parts. And the first one is about the interactive dialogue puzzle or interactive token puzzle. So that is the 4 titles in the first half. And the second half is going to introduce the nonverbal messaging in the games. And as a matter of fact, once we selected those 8 titles, you can see there's a kind of trend we follow. All of them are pursuing the messaging or stories through the media as a game, as a media and outlet. So in that sense, the game-oriented, game-original indie game trend is being observed here. So what kind of games are there in the nomination? Well, very much looking forward to it. And for those awardees of Sense of Night, and you would be granted for those prizes. And you can see we have got 5 sections in the prizes: a technical game, arts, experimental game, a game design, and presentation. 5 sections. And for each prize, $500 will be granted. And on top of that, we've got another one, which is the Audience Award prize, that the $3,200 will be granted. And another one is the Semi Audience Award Semi Grand Prize, and then it's going to be endowed with $500. Then which title is going to what? You will be granted $, and that's very good and beneficial for you, right? So let's look for it. And in a Sense of Wonder Night 2021, have got the accounts for YouTube, Twitter, Nico, and Twitch, and it was Facebook, TikTok Live, and Steam. You were able to watch the stream living on those, along with the Chinese platform as well, simultaneously. The hashtag is the Sense of What Night, SOW, and so with the hashtag SOWN2022, can you submit and post your comments about those accounts with hashtags. And we are sponsored by the Sony Interactive Entertainment, Nintendo, Kodansha Game Creators Lab, Ige Indie Game Incubator, Aoda Japan, and BenQ Japan. Now then, let me explain how we selected the finalists and how we judge. As is always the case in this event, the characteristics of a Sense of Wonder Night is to choose the awardee by the audience. So you can see the highest prizes, audience award, and also audience award semi-grand prix. And because of your small comments, they're going to be chosen, especially among those 8 finalists. Those which got the biggest responses, 2 biggest response titles will be chosen in order to choose 1 grand prize. And you can see we've got the great eyeball sensor, and you see that the sophisticated eyeball sensor is very active and rejuvenated, and we're going to use it, for this judge and review. Yes, you're right. The Sense of Wonder Night is this. You can see the smile mark, and it's being used, and you could hear the sound in the actual venue, but it's an online. So now this ding pico hammer, instead of those hammer or pico ding sound, and we're using those smile icons or emoji. So when you feel the Sense of Wonder, then you need some post those. If you think it's good, 1 pico, or if you think it's great, 2 picos, or if you think it sounds perfect, a lot of smile marks or emojis. So once you think it's Sense of Wonder, then just submit. Shall we do a little bit of practice to post a pico or a smile emoji? How are we going to do it? Yeah, and then can you submit your comments online with a pico or smile mark? And can you do that? We have only 1 smile mark coming out. Probably we are not felt as Sense of Wonder, but a pico could be in the alphabet, or and maybe you could just submit the smile emoji. Yes, it's coming now through. Yes, it's coming through. Thank you very much. Okay, then yes, we are receiving a lot of Pico smart emojis. Yes, that's great. Thank you for joining the exercise. Now, the 8 titles are chosen by the judges who I'm going to introduce now. In the beginning, Gabe taps Juan Grell, the founder, and he's been visiting the venue, but he is not able to attend this year, so he has just posted his assessment as well, and he must be watching now. And also the Tohoku Gakuin University, Shige Nobusuke.
次は神奈川電子技術研究所北山勲さんです。
Okay, then
はい、次はビデオゲーム忍者鶴志賀ラモン・ナフリアさんです。
Mr. Ramon Nafia from Video Game Ninja Tsurushiga.
次は NPO 法人オキュフェス高橋健二さんです。
Mr. Kenji Takahashi from NPO Okufes.
次は株式会社アウリン駒形和則さんです。
Mr. Kazunori Komagata from Aurin.
次はソニーインタラクティブエンターテインメント吉田修平さんです。
Mr. Shuhei Yoshida from Sony Interactive Entertainment.
次は講談社ゲームクリエイターズラボ片山裕樹さんです。
Mr. Yuki Katayama from Kodansha Creators Lab.
次は IGI インディーゲームインキュベーターコーラ・マティアスさんです。
Mr. Matias Kala from Iggy Indie Game Incubator.
そして私新規教師の10名で厳正な審査を行わせていただきました。
And they have done the review with those judges. And how did you find it? It was a fierce battle among the 8 titles because each individual judges have got the one vote in order to evaluate each title. And all of the games have got the quite a lot of points, and it was very difficult to choose. We have done the very serious judgment, and we have chosen the very Sense of Wonder title. And you see that quite a lot of people joined from the overseas countries last year, but we have got all those people, quite many people attending on site at the venue. So please support us well to the end of the event. And now the Sense of Wonder Night 2022 8 title presentation will be started from now, and you can see those presentations over here in the first half. The puzzle that speaks to something. Those presentations. Are you ready for the presentation, presenters? Then I would like to begin now. The very first one is here from the United Kingdom, Most by Yario.
Hi, my name is Alex Hansen. I am the director of Alio Games and the designer behind the game Morse. So Morse is a game that teaches you the kind of lost language of Morse code. Through play, you can learn this very tangible skill by entering coordinates with telegraph key right here, and then deploying those coordinates onto the battlefield to strike enemies with this launch button. And the game's set in the First World War. You've got this kind of rich narrative around telegraphists, around kind of women in technology, and the kind of various other kind of social themes around the home front during the First World War. We're so grateful to be included in this selection of Sense of Wonder, and more broadly as part of Tokyo Game Show. We really look forward to seeing what everyone else is presenting, and just thank you again so much for including us as part of this competition.
Hi there. My name's Alex, as you heard from the presentation. I'm the director of Alio Games and the designer behind Morse. I'm going to be giving you a kind of run through of the design of the project, the origins, and of course the controller that is slightly out of shot here. Oh, there we go, amazing, thank you. That I'll be using to operate the presentation with as well. So if I just click this little telegraph here, that should advance the slides. Okay, so what is Morse? So Morse is a game that you're using timing, tactics, and telecommunications to try and break break the attrition of the Great War. The elegance of the game is that you're controlling it for the most part with one button, which translates into Morse code. So you have one input and 30 different outputs. You're trying to kind of use this one button to tip the scales of war, and the game follows the narrative of Ida Brockett, who's a kind of working class telegraphist. In terms of how the gameplay works, you have this grid that you're kind of navigating around using Morse code. And as part of that, you're fighting, sinking battleships, you're shredding biplanes, and you're shelling trenches. And yeah, as part of that, you have this arsenal of artillery that you're using to call down these artillery strikes. The actual origins of the Morse are quite a peculiar one. So it all began with a clothes peg. I was doing a workshop. I've been doing alt control stuff for around 8 years. And I was designing like a piano made of clothes pegs. I got bored after the first key, but had this very, very kind of interesting interface to design something with. And the telegraph seemed like the obvious one to choose. So from there, I built a Flash version of it. And that did reasonably well online. It got probably like 100,000 plays back when Flash was a thing. And then since then, 5 years later, I took the project back on, rebuilt it in Unity with a team, and we've been touring it around the world and really, really excited with how people have engaged with it. Obviously, it's evolved a little bit since the clothes peg. Now it's like a physical peripheral. We've got a telegraph key, we've got a launch switch, and then we've got these lovely kind of 1930s original kind of telegraphist headphones. I feel like I'm on the like sales channel or something like that. Yeah, and this kind of adds like a level of authenticity to the experience. And yeah, like it's something that we're immensely proud of as a team. I'm just going to skip this because okay. So there we go. So from a narrative perspective, the game is focused around the First World War and the home front. It's kind of this rich narrative, which we've kind of used a lot of literature to kind of inform, kind of a working class perspective. And it's this mix of like historical grounding and artistic depiction of the First World War. Often the home front isn't very well kind of depicted much in war, so we're really, really excited to kind of explore that as part of the experience. So what gives Morse like a kind of true sense of wonder as an experience? One of the big elements of it that often comes up at the event is people asking me like, how do I have this? How do I take this controller home with me? I want to have the true experience of playing the game at home. And yeah, like designing something like this has been such a privilege to kind of create. I love showing alternative controllers at events. And yeah, it just adds an extra level of authenticity to the experience. And I like that there's that legacy that the game came from physical design as an experience. And sense of wonder, the name of the event, like we in the industry tend to neglect the sense of touch, like physicality in games. The keyboard is arguably older than the telegraph at this point. So I feel like there should be more of an encouragement to developers to spend more time designing, with physical controls. Finally, the other element that we're immensely proud of is the kind of learning experience through play. So having Morse code as a language, it's a war on two fronts, trying to teach that and teach gameplay. So we've achieved that by having the simple interface with just two buttons. You've got the kind of visualizing of the Morse code interface. And one thing that I'm really, really excited to see as part of people learning Morse is how that manifests in the world. So people kind of using it to escape dangerous situations, how they express it through games. And in my case, I recently broke an escape room by knowing Morse code. So I was able to unlock one of the boxes early as part of the experience. So really, really excited to see what people can do with Morse. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's, yeah.
Wow.
はい、ありがとうございました。Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
はい、というわけで早速審
So
査員よりコ
that's
メントをいただ
about
きたいと
the
思います。
Morse,
小林さん
and we try to
いかがです
ask
か？
for the comments from the interviewers, reviewers.
実際に会場
Thank
で
you
プレイ
so
させてい
much.
ただいたんですけれど、
I played actually this
も
game
う
and
独自の
I
物理
found that
コン
it's
トローラー
really
でモール
unique
信号を
and
こう
that
打つだけ
controller,
で操
physical
作をし
one,
て、
that
しかも慣れて
equipment
くるとだん
enables
だん
us
こ
to
う
feel like really
マニュアルとか
true
見なくてもで
one
きるようになってくるの
when
が
I
自分で
use,
すごく
and
楽しかったです。
without seeing
であ
any
と
manual, I can play this. it's really interesting and funny. And aside from the excitement, I think the story or music, BGM, those kind of things are quite remarkable and romantic. And I found something interesting and really traditional. Thank you so much. I enjoyed a lot. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's all about Morse by Ariot Games. So we will move on to the next.
Rodoptions by Sapporo
by Sapporo Municipal University Fujiki Matsunaga Zemi no Group is going to present you the Rodoptions.
こんにちは。私たちは札幌市立大学
Hello, this is the Fujiki Matsunaga Zemina Group of Sapporo Municipal University, and Rodoption is a multiple player game, and you have used those colored glasses in order to memorize the terms of the language learning, and that is a kind of sort of thing and a trick we are using, and so please watch it. Good afternoon. I am from the Sapporo Municipal University Fujiki Matsunaga Zemi Group, and I am Ishizaki. And since I'm not familiar with this kind of environment and I'm very much nervous, but please support me well with a warm heart. And from here on, you can see this is the title of the game, and you can see Rodoptions. This is how you actually pronounce, and this is a kind of cell that would actually percept the light, and that means that in this game we are going to utilize your visuals or lightings, and that is the characteristic. You're supposed to actually put on those colored glasses, and that is the characteristics. And please have a look at this video clip for now, and you can see that you are wearing the red glasses now, and this is what you see with red glasses, and there's a captain in them, and they are in the middle, but there's nothing going on as it seems, but this character is damaged. That will happen during the game, and you think it might be unreasonable, and you may think it is not a good design game. But if you look at it from a different angle, you're now wearing the blue glasses, and you see that your enemy is approaching the protagonist. You can see, and this is how it works, and this is a trick. And you're not wearing any of the color glasses, and you can see, and the enemy is in red. So if you see it with the red filter, you're not able to see the enemy. And then this is, let me just explain further on about the trick. And you see the red and the green and the blue apples. These are the color pixels, and they are actually worn as the colored glasses. And with the red glasses, you are not able to see red and green, and no green object, and then a blue glasses, no blue object. So this is what you're going to see with those colored glasses. And then you can see this is the tile. You see the different colored tiles are beneath at the bottom. You can see if you are wearing those colored glasses, you're not going to see those individual colored glasses. So it means that 1/3 of the proportion would not be seen due to the colored glasses. And it's true, it might be unreasonable and difficult to play, but don't get scared. This is a kind of multiple player game with 3 players together, so you are able to be complemented by the player who you are not able to see, and your partner is going to join and support you for the colors you're not able to see. Because of the editing software, you are seeing some of the parts, but actually if you wear those colored glasses, you are not able to see some of the objects or designs. And it took quite a lot of efforts for us, but you can feel this very unique senses. You can see this is the image of the stages, and you can see all those tiles spread, and later at the bottom, and if you wear the red glasses, there might be a hole at the bottom, and then now there's a hole actually, in some cases, and in that case, you need to get the support from the other players who are able to see the whole, and probably you can guide this person that there's two blocks in the middle of the gap so that they can land. So although you are not able to see with red glasses, but you can tell by the other support that there's the two tiles, blocks in the middle, and you can see you might bump into the enemy or you might fall into the gap. It means that you're gonna fall out. But just one mistake. But because of the impaired visibility, this kind of setting might be very hard. But out of 3 players, and can reach the goal, the game is cleared. So at least one player should and must reach the goal, and that is a strategy you need to take. And the benefit of this game is as follows. And you can see, just like the case as mentioned, you might fall out, and you may not be able to go farther in the game, but you can be the advisor for the remaining partners. So even if you are not able to operate the game on your own as a protagonist, you are able to be a supporter of the game and stay in the game. And even if you are not good at playing this kind of game, and you can be the communicator to support the player. So if you are not good at playing this kind of game, then you can actually support and enjoy the game together. And these are the special gimmicks. Let me just introduce them. And you see those tinkling tiles are there. While they are disappearing, they don't exist. So you need to jump while they are being seen, while they are tinkling. So it means that the location of the tiles must be informed by the other partners. And also you need to be told the timing to jump. Therefore, on top of the location, the timing to jump must be shared by other supporters or partners. So it's a rank higher gimmicks. And also the password should be aligned. You can see another gimmick is here. You can see there are colored titles from green, red, and blue. And in accordance with those colors, you need to hit those blocks in order to reshuffle them. And then if you can just put them together with 3 colors, you can open the door. It's another gimmick. And then you're going to play those with your colored glasses, you're not able to see. So under the circumstances, you don't see the color. You need to line up 3 colors by joining hands with your partner. So that is a gimmick. And then another gimmick is here, and which I like most. And you can see there's a shower. And a dumpowering shower. And once you go through the shower, the character is colored and painted with red, which is your color. So you are not able to see yourself at all, invisible yourself. So you don't know where you are at all. And now you are here, actually. And since you can see yourself, so you really have to operate and also explore yourself on your own by the voices of other partners. Let's say there's a hole, so you must be guided by your friends. Go ahead, a little bit more. There's a gap, a pitfall, and that sort of communication will take place. So this is the summary. Sorry for rushing through, but you can see that while I am playing the footage, let me just summarize how it works in this game. And the biggest point of this game is that your partners and yourself, you are sharing exactly the same vision, but you are feeling differently. So in the real on-site atmosphere, you are able to share one same screen. And if you prepare, let's say, there are different displays in remote places, you can simulate. Yes, you can do that, but that is not the case. This mysterious experience is only created by the real experiences on site in the same room with 3 players. And I was really lucky to be able to present this production in online on-site venue event of TGS after 3 years absence. And you know that product is not released yet. And then this year's TGS is the only place that you can play this very rarest game. So please come to our booth. So thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much indeed for your presentation tonight, and you're able to enjoy together as a team with some boost. Okay, then I just want to get some comments from Kitayama, one of the judge. Yeah, this game needs to wear a pair of glasses. That is a great idea. But at the same time, you need to have the dialogue and communication that is highly effective among the partners. And even if you are not getting along with, still you need to collaborate to win the game. And if you would like to get closer to some members, and then you are able to force yourself to communicate. Let's say if I play with the English-speaking partner, that I can learn English, and also probably my English-speaking partner might be able to learn my Kansai dialect in Japanese. So in that sense, we are able to collaborate, and I can use it in real hand. So how I can apply it and should be also investigated and researched in your seminar. I think that is a great idea. So thank you very much for your comments. Well, applicants by Sapporo Municipal University, Suzuki Matsunaga seminar presented this. Now moving to the next.
So we are having third titles from Spain, Idea by TLR Games.
Hi, I am Alexandra Samper, Investor Relations at TLR Games. It is an absolute pleasure being finalist among such a great game, so thank you so much. Idea is a physics-based puzzle game where the player explores gorgeous footage captured by drones. And basically, you lead an idea by bumping it through the map to find and reach other players to inspire them. So basically, whenever you get stuck, you can actually leave an idea to other players together. Just as in real life, getting lost and stuck, it's the better way to ideas to move and reach others. So thank you so much. Bye-bye.
So, hello again. I am Alexandra Samper. As I said, I am Investor Relations at TLR Games. We are a new studio built up by veterans placed in northern Spain, in Bilbao. We brought Idea, the game, and again, thank you so much for the appreciation. We are delighted to be here. Thank you so much. Let me explain you what means that Idea is a physics-based puzzle game where the player can explore gorgeous real world captured by drones, right? Basically, the main idea behind Idea, the game, it's to lead a bulb through a map by bumping it through the map, right? However, you have a limited amount of time to do so. Many different ways to go through. So you should decide quickly and you should move as smoothly as you can. Basically, Idea is a tribute to the journey that normally ideas do. They travel from one mind to different paths and reach different people. So just like the roots of a tree, you can go through different paths and reach out different people in the map to get them inspired by your idea. So When you find up people or whenever you get stuck, so you run out of time to do so, a pop-up emerges, just the one you have on the screen. You can choose from some icons to represent your idea, and you can leave and type your idea there. So other players, when they will play before you, can go through the map and actually gather that icon, and that idea will be stored, and when that player will end up playing, all the ideas gathered will be listed. So those ideas can be liked or disliked. Those that you may like, the system recognizes them and plays ideas alike whenever you play again. So you can always read ideas that you may like, right? The difficulty of the design, let's say it's as long as it's captured by drones, each screen is a short video, 4K video. So we should track all the edges of the map for the bulb to collide well. And as long as they are videos, they are changing their physics also, so the movement of the bulb is different at all times, right? Also, at the level design level, it's challenging because it's like having 100 pieces of a 100 different puzzles, right? You have many different videos that should be matched, their edges should be matched, and all paths should be a way to go, right? So the player can go wherever the player wants to. However, all this difficulty, it's being translated to a simple and smooth experience for the player. So they can move wherever they would like to, and it's easy to follow and to understand. In order to, for them to add the actual value of the game, which is their own ideas. It's really funny and beautiful to see how optimistic and how beautiful the people is by reading their ideas, yeah. So, thank you so much. Please wishlist it. We are already on Steam with a demo, and yeah, we do really feel grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's really funny and cute. And it has a number of ideas. So we tried to ask for the interviewer's comment and reviewer's comment. I tried to ask.
Hi, thanks Alessandra for the presentation. I have to say to the rest of the people that have not played it that the game is a really good idea translated into a game, and I suggest you to play the demo. I did it some days ago, and I have to say that it's pretty nice. You spend a good time playing it, and you find that it's surprising. It's not only what you have seen, it's only when you play it, it's like, oh, this is this, oh. So it's something that really gathers the sense of wonder. Thank you very much.
はい、ありがとうございます。Thank you very much. Muchas gracias. ありがとうございました。Idea by TLR Games でした。
TLR Games. Thank you so much.
4作品目に移ってまいりましょう。From Singapore.
Now we're going to go back to the applause title, The Yonzen's Pastry Panic.
Hello everyone, I'm Zenzo. Pastry Panic with Cat is an alternative control arcade-style game about making pastries. With a controller that features swappable sliders as inputs for frantic pastry-making action with juicy haptic feedback. The game is both on the screen and in real life, with your hands trying to do all the different motions while managing the workspace, and it gets more fun as you try to play faster. and then your hands get confused, and the controllers are flying everywhere, and the bread is burning in the oven. It's a real honor to be part of Sense of Wonder Night 2022, and I hope that people will like to try the different haptics I've created. I can't wait to see all the other interesting games at the show. Yeah! Okay, hello everyone. Like the video said, I'm Zenzo. I'm the designer and developer of Pastry Panic with Cat, and it's something that I built while studying industrial design at the National University of Singapore. So without further ado, Pastry Panic with Cat is an alternative control arcade-style game with a controller that experiments a focus on haptic feedback and physical swapping of your controls. The player takes a position of like a pastry chef, and they try to make as much pastry as possible within a little time limit. During the game, the player's attention will be split between the three components, which are the screen, the controller, and the recipe book. This is an overview of the controller, and there are 5 inputs that it has, which are swapped between 2 slots to perform the different actions of cutting, kneading, sprinkling, filling, and baking. The little twist is that each input has distinct haptic feedback, and they all need to be operated slightly differently. For example, you hit repeatedly, you mash it to knead some dough, whereas you press and hold to fill up a cream puff. During the game, pastries will come down along 2 lines towards the player, and each pastry has a different sequence of actions to complete them. And to know what the actions are, the player needs to refer to the recipe book that is on the table beside them. So, as you can see, the pastries don't actually go anywhere while you're struggling with the controls, so there's no rush. You can approach them as and when you're comfortable, but naturally, if you want to get a higher score, you will do your actions faster, and as you do it faster, you get confused, and as you get confused, you drop things, you mix things up, and that's when the game gets more fun, hence the name Pastry Panic. And so after that overview, when I show you a video of other people playing it, the motions that they make will make a little bit more sense. This is some footage that we got from GDC. Yeah, I'll cut that there and talk about the controller a little bit. So this is what it looks like inside the box. You'll notice there's a somewhat strange lack of electronics, and that's because all the detection for the game is done with a webcam. And the slider mechanisms look like this. If you have seen the inside of a mechanical keyboard, it might look familiar with you. The inputs each have a different shape, and that shape interacts with the springs to produce different haptic feedback for the player. So how did this all begin? And it began at a little research project that I was doing while interning at the KONUS CUTE Center on developing haptic feedback development tools. And this tool is called Shape Haptics, and it's for designers to quickly create and experiment with multiple haptic feedbacks. And then at this time, a little thing called Alt Control GDC appeared. And I thought, I want to go. So, and I know how to make something with haptics. So I thought, all right, why not make a controller related very strongly to haptic feedback? And I thought about that because when you look in the conventional idea of what a controller is in the market now, the focus on haptics is very narrow. The controllers are very efficient, they're very professional. You click the button tells you, yes, you've clicked me, I go click. And it doesn't really tell you anything else. Whereas if you think about the haptics that people experience in real life, it's much more informative and much more varied. Like if you're screwing a PET bottle in, you know it's tight when it starts to resist more. And there are all these little ways in which our sense of touch gives us information about the world through haptics. And I felt like, well, that's not really happening very much in games. So let's do something about that. So the focus was 2 things, haptic feedback and physical game mechanics. So physical game mechanics I haven't talked about yet, and that's because I was inspired by other various controllers at Alt Control GDC, which did this aspect of, well, they took advantage of the fact that the designer was creating the controller as well. And when the designer creates the controller, that means the designer can create not just how the player interacts with the game while inside the game, but how the player interacts with the game while in real life. In a sense, you get to make the player move in any way you want them to move, and that's pretty fun to me. So in some ways, a controller is a holy grail that turns any aspect of reality into a game. In the case of Pastry Panic, I wanted to challenge the player both inside the game and outside the game. So inside the game, you have some aspects of timing, memorization, what is this pastry, what is that pastry, what should I do here, what should I do there. Whereas outside the game, you're having some psychomotor issues, trying to pat your head and rub your tummy at the same time with the different remotes. So challenging players' dexterity and awareness of the physical space around them. And the theme of baking appeared when thinking of various contexts in which a player might experience many different kinds of haptic feedback naturally. So that's kind of like the kitchen. And then from there, I could create different feelings that corresponded with each action. So for the cut, you will feel, it's a little bit hard to talk about this because haptics are something that you feel, but you will feel the knife resisting, then going through the object, or the impact of a knead, or when you fill the donut, the initial pop, and then the pressure as cream goes in. And for the shaker, the player will actually feel the person get stuck. The controller will get stuck inside the machine when they've used it wrong. So telling them not just inside the game that, hey, you've messed up, but outside the game, they will feel, yes, I have messed up. An initial iteration of the game originally was a rhythm game, which had the player, well, you can see at the back, trying to smack a bunch of color boxes with the haptics, but that didn't turn out too well because the speed at which the player wanted to input the controls meant that they didn't have the luxury to feel good about their haptics, and so I scrapped that. And in my mind, the player has this image of a busy chef. So you'll notice that all the remotes, all the inputs are separate. You can mess them up, you can drop them, you can throw them at your friends if you don't like them. And that kind of gives the vibe of it's a busy kitchen and I've got all these tools and I need to manipulate them, but yet at the same time, if I mess it up, well, that's the player's fault. And going along with the idea of physical mechanics, I thought, all right, why not make the recipe book physical as well? So they have to read something as well. Information is physical as well. Yeah, and that's about all I have. Pastry Panic was first shown at All Control GDC earlier this year, and it's a great honor to be here and able to show it at Tokyo Game Show. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. ありがとうございました。なんかすごい忙しいゲームな感じがしましたけど、これ本当プレイしたくなりましたね。高橋さんいかがですか?
Okay, thank you very much indeed. What do you think about this, Takahashi-san, as a judge? Yes, it says panic in the title, and I actually gave a try, and I really got in myself into the comfortable level of panic, because you see all those controllers have got the haptic feedback that would induce the panics. And so I really urge the visitors to enjoy this in a haptic world. Okay, thank you very much indeed. Okay, Pastry Panic, presented by Yon Zenzo from Singapore National University. Thank you very much. And we have covered all the 4 titles presentation in the first half. And what do you think about the feedback? And idea was a great idea. And then I think probably you're going to play it in the virtual world with the rolling board, and it was very difficult to actually realize it in the presentation. I think, therefore, the visitors will have to come to visit the booth, and then you'll be very much surprised and amazed. And then let me just explain also about this Pico mark, or this big hand mark. A number of these would actually choose the 2 major grand prize winners. So whenever you feel it's good, when you feel a sense of wonder, just post the Pico or Nico or a smart emoji marks or a big hand mark, and it's very easy for us to see the visible response. So please submit and then post the emoji as much as possible. So let's go to the latter half of the 4 titles.
So here are the 5 titles of the latter half of this presentation, so please don't miss it. So moving on to the latter half of the presentation, we will have 5 titles from France.
Hi everyone, I'm Florian.
And I'm Baptiste.
And together we're making How to Say Goodbye.
How to Say Goodbye is a narrative puzzle game about death and grief.
It is inspired by picture books such as Miffy, as well as Tove Jansson's Moomins, or books by Tomi Ungerer.
The picture book inspired us for their aesthetic, obviously, but also their tone, because they are treating this difficult subject with kindness and sensitivity.
And we hope to do the same with our game. The game is being played kind of like a Rubik's Cube, where by pushing one tile around, you move the entire row, and you have to do some juggling between rows and columns to move, for instance, a key next to a character so that you can pick it up. There are lots of interesting puzzles that we can come up with this system, and we hope you enjoy them.
We are thrilled to be selected for the Sense of Wonder Awards. Among so many great games, we are really, really honored.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We hope you enjoy the event.
Have fun, everyone.
Bye. Hello everyone, I'm Baptiste and I'm going to present to you How to Say Goodbye. How to Say Goodbye is a narrative puzzle game that plays like a Rubik's Cube and that feels like a picture book. The story is about a group of ghosts that try to deal with grief in the afterlife, while a mysterious wizard is chasing them. The game is made by a small team of 2 people. Florian Veltman is directing the game, and the second member is myself. We met in an art school, which is specialized in illustration, and the game is usually inspired by all the great picture book we discovered during our time there. So, like it was said on the video, the game plays like a Rubik's Cube. As you can see on the picture, on the video, there is a grid on the floor that is made out of tiles. And if you push one of these tiles in the direction, all the tiles that are on the same row move as well. The goal of every level is to get a ghost to the end of level door. And as you can see, you encounter obstacle that blocks your path. Most of the time in video games, death is represented with a game over. That's why we choose to make a game that doesn't end up in states of game overs. The puzzle elements as well tells the same story. You're never stuck forever. You just have to like confront the difficulties and move on. And we thought it was an interesting way to tackle the subject of death and grief. And as you can see here, if you had more ghosts and more puzzle elements and also a few pasta all over the place, the levels can get more tricky. The picture books that you see here really helped us figure out how to tackle such a difficult subject as death and grief in a really simple, heartfelt, and direct way. For example, Miffy or by Dick Bruna, or Moomin Valley in November. So the story of the game is simple, easy to follow, and tackles the subject with a lot of positivity. But the picture book also inspired us for their aesthetic. From the simple and really understandable bold design of the characters to the use of color that actually comes from printing techniques. The superimposition of colors that is used for example, screen printing or risography printing are what inspired us to come up with the game aesthetic. So raw colors, CMYK and RGB are superimposed, and these colors are treated and transformed into palettes that are more analog and feel palatable. We wanted this tactile feel that you have when you read the picture book. So I'm going to show you a few examples of what the game looks like. Here you go. We are super honored to be part of the selection for the Sense of Wonder Awards among so many great games, and very happy to be in the Tokyo Game Show as well. Goodbye.
Thank you so much. It's really funny and so cute characters are there. So I'd like to deep dive on that. I'd like to ask you, Mazawa-san, it's really warm picture, and I was so impressed with the pictures and illustrations when I saw it. It's just thing, but it's really interesting and funny. And the Rubik Cube, you said, like a game style, it's really have a good sense that you have a good tile and good road, and it has a ripple effect like the gaming, right? And it's might be difficult, right? It's part of different from the pictures or taste of the pictures, but it's really interesting, and I'd like you to come here and play that. Show it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So moving on to the sixth title.
The next title is from Netherlands, Chicken by Extra Nice.
Hi, my name is Ewout and I'm the developer of Schim. Schim is a game about jumping from shadow to shadow in an animated, colorful world. In the game, you play as a Schim, a character that can only move in shadows. I'm honored to be part of this year's competition and hope people will get excited about the game. Get excited! Alright, my name is Ewout and I'm here to present Schim. Schim is a soulful platformer that takes place in the shadows. You play as a Schim, the soul of essence of an object. Explore a visual abstract world to get and reunite with your person. So Schim is a single player experience. It's a platformer, but also kind of a puzzler, and it's going to be released on PlayStation, Switch, Xbox, and PC. Features. So Schim features an abstract art style, platforming in the shadows, shadow puzzles, activatable shadows / objects, features a story, and exploration. I will get back to these points later in later slides. So day and night. Schim is a level-based game. So every level features is either day or night or is inside, and every level has its own set of lights. So most of the levels are in broad daylight, so they have the shadows of the sun that you parkour in, but you can also revisit those levels later in the story where they take place in night. So then the whole scenery changes and all the platforms are different. So they also feature different light sources throughout the level. The art style. So Schim features a minimalist art style featuring only 4 colors. These colors can be represent the theme or the story at that point in the game, but also the time of day. So night levels are usually very dark, whereas daylight levels are much brighter, sometimes a bit gloomier depending on the time of day. And we also feature a Dutch-inspired aesthetic. So I'm from the Netherlands, and I found it kind of important to feature my sort of identity into this game of my hometown and stuff. And the last point is screenshot worthy. That's also a point that we focus on to make every shot feel nice. puzzles. So every object in the game has a little thing that you can interact with. So next to just jumping from shadow to shadow, you can also interact with each object in the game. When you press the interact button, when you inside the shadow, the object that you inhabit will do a little thing. So this car in the GIF, it triggers the alarm, and so the lights flicker and it creates a shadow there by the pool. Yeah. And so each object will have its own sort of thing. They can react, they can change, they can make a sound, move, and much more. So here's the trailer to see the game in action. So this trailer really highlighted the fact that you can interact with these objects and they can influence the level and so also the things happening in that world. And that's it. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. That was super cute. Those characters and jumping, and I want to know what it is. And what do you think about this, Shiro-san? Yeah, this game, when I had a look at the screen itself, and I really was motivated to playing, and everybody would feel like that. And when I first glanced at it, there was no user interface and there was no explanation, but I could tell how I would play. I think when I was a kid, I think probably I was playing that in the real world. Probably you were jumping in the shadows in the daily life when you were a kid. And I think probably, so it was a kind of reminiscence of my childhood. But at the same time, this has never been simulated in the game world. And that was very novel. And also the number of colors were very much limited in that sense. The art direction and style was so superb. And I was so much impressed. Thank you very much indeed. That's great. Thank you very much. Okay, Skim by Extra Nice. Thank you very much indeed for your presentation.
So we will move on to the seventh title from Japan. Box and Boxes Trip Adashi no Kotoro Demon by Lias. Thank you so much.
Thank
you so much and hello. My name is Bias from Travels of Walks and Vlogs. Thank you so much for choosing us as a finalist. Have you ever been thrilled by small torii gates and intricate black alleys that you stumble across while walking down the street? What kind of world will await beyond this point? I started making games with the desire to play in a world set in Japan. It is a work that I drag people with small similar thoughts to play. Thank you so much for your support. Hello everyone, my name is Diaz. From now on, I try to introduce the Fox and Frogs journey Kotoro ni Oni of Adashino Island. Before introducing this work, there is something I want to tell you first. Innovative eco-making and presented highly strategic the story of the game system. So Foxen Journey, I want to run around this I created. It is a work from both a simple desire. So running across this mysterious island, exploring and experiencing, that is the main part of this work. But just running around is not able to show a series of illustrations. In order to enjoy this world as a team, the game that everyone knows, I decided to make it a game. I made with this such an idea. One of the themes is to have people see the world I created. It's also dropped into the gameplay. The stage of the game is a Tashino Island, which floats above the darkness, as subtitle suggests. The town inside the island is enveloped in glittering lights. Still, in the darkness where the light cannot reach, countless invisible paths are hidden. As soon as the main character, Fox, landed on the island, pick up a mysterious ball that lights up the speaker. The lit light illuminates the darkness of the island. It has a power to make the invisible visible. Using the power of light to increase the number of paths that can be taken, it feels like I'm completing an unfinished picture. The goal of this game is to reveal the true nature of this island. The play screen, as I showed you like earlier, little nostalgic to explore the background of the 2D illustration by manipulating a 3D character. In order to enjoy this picture in a way that is unique to the game, the picture with a deep incorporate things like the depth of the field, so that the expression of the picture changes when you move it. The UI is also very simple. There are no complicated actions that the Fox, the main character, can do. If you light the shrine like this, the hidden path will be revealed like this. And you will know the new roads. And you will know why this shrine will have the lights from the Fox's power. There are various people on this island. And also you can encounter many people like this, drunk in izakayas. And here, the fox is eaten here, and the game of ducks begins. Now the new shrine is coming. The demon will chase the fox, but when it is about to be caught, light can be used to mislead demons. While the demons will not be able to move for a short time, the timing of using light is really crucial, like this. There, you can encounter Pale, that's a black cat. It's really cute, and you can encounter many times this cat. And with the new shrine, you can find many new roads like this, and probably you will find another rose from the unprecedented way, and you can enjoy like their kind of excitement that something will happen next. Finally, I'd like to talk about the world of build of this game. I want this game to be one of the kind work in the world, even if it is not new. The goal of making something that I only can make, which is not in the world, is the fun and wonderful above all these. And under such circumstances, when I try to make something that is unique in the world, the motivation that emerges in me was Japan. There are quite a few games set in Japan, but I don't think there are many. And shrines or foxes you can find, and a festival coming from Japanese drums, and you can find a reality and like a mysterious world, and you can find something that cannot be worded, and you can tell others what you feel, and probably it's only you who can make it. So finally, that's the mysterious world that is an extension of your lives, and people overseas could enjoy it is a mysterious island country fantasy. I'd like to conclude this presentation of the journey of the Fox and Frogs. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's really interesting and wonderful. I feel as if I travel in Japan. And I'd like to ask Katayama-san for your evaluation. It's really marvelous and really interesting. And it's like I dream and like chasing. It's like a really funny play, and I did in my childhood. And I remember this, and I just recall my old times in childhood. And the 3D characters and 2D pictures are going well together. And it's like a high sensitivity here. And I really want to buy it and play. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's the journey of the fox and the frogs in Adashino Island. Thank you.
And here comes the very last finalist out of 8 from France, Dordogne by Humanimation.
Bonjour, I'm Cédric Babouche, the art director of Un Je ne sais quoi, working with Humanimation on a watercolor adventure, Dordogne. Everything in Dordogne is hand-painted on paper before being brought to life in game. We feel so honored to be selected as a finalist to Sense of Wonder Night. We really hope that you will love our game, and hopefully we will win the prize. Au revoir!
Bonjour, I am Aymeric.
Bonjour, je suis Cédric, donc pas tout seul, not alone.
We are from Humanimation. Humanimation stands for umami and animation, and umami, as in Japanese, symbolizes the mix between sour, salty, acid, and bitter. Here, it's to symbolize all technique and cultures that we're going to mix to create a new way of content. The content we're creating with our studio Un Je ne sais quoi, and here's our dearest Dordogne.
Et ne fais pas ta fofolle en chemin. Promis. À tout à l'heure. Coucou.
So to introduce myself, I'm Aymeric Casting. I'm founder and CEO of Humanimation. After experience in animation, I wanted to create interactive storytelling. And then we partnered with Cédric.
Yeah, so I'm Cédric Babouche. I'm a director and art director in the field of animation for the past 17 years. And when we thought about what kind of game we would like to do for our company, we were thinking about using watercolor. Actually, I've been painting for 30 years now. I was 14 the first time somebody offers me a watercolor box. And since then, I've always wanted to do many, many different things with it. So it can be comic books, it can be animation, TV series, movie, and of course Dordogne. But what is the story about Dordogne? Sorry.
Dordogne, our game. So Dordogne tells the story of Mimi, a 32-year-old woman who just lost her grandmother. So she's going to go back to her house, to her grandmother's house, to empty that house. And she's going to come back to all her childhood memories because she spent also her summer there. And while getting back her childhood memories, she's going to get back being Mimi, 10 years old. And so you're going to play Mimi, 10 years old, to get back all your memories that you are going to gather through sounds, pictures, and words, and that you are going to gather all these words into your binder. But what do we exactly play in Dordogne?
So what we can show you tonight is kind of exclusive content because we are still working on the project, and it will be ready at the end of the year and released in April, we hope so. And so what you see now is still in progress, but I hope that you can still enjoy the game. So the idea here is that you make some back and forth between the past and the present. And in the past, you will be able to play tons of mini games in order to rebuild your souvenir. So you will also be able to take pictures, capture words, and record sounds. All these elements will be collected in a sketchbook. We call it the binder. And in this binder, you will be able to recreate all your souvenir. And every time, at every moment in the game, you will be able to create your own page, something very special and personal to you. Here you can see that you can take picture, so you are indeed completely in a kind of open world when you are able to do this, but most of the time you are just visiting and enjoying the Dordogne, which is a real region in France. So here you can see Sarlat, which is a very famous place in Dordogne and in France. And yeah, an amazing market if you love French food. But the idea here is, again, to show you that there is no way in the game that you're going to fail. You don't fail. It's a story. You want to learn what happened to Mimi, nothing else. So you move on and learn things. And then by this back and forth between the past and the future, and the present, sorry, you know what happened to Mimi, but I'm not going to spoil you, so you will have to buy the game. I'm sorry.
So a word about our technique. Everything is hand-painted by Cedric.
By me.
And we integrate everything into the scanned and then integrated into the game engine. It's a very unique way of creating a game. And our vision is on the story is a transmedia vision, where we have a big story and we take chapters of that big story to put them on the platforms that it fits the most. So for instance, if Dordogne tells the story of Mimi, who's going to go back to her grandmother's house, we are now creating the story of how the grandmothers arrived in Dordogne 50 years ago, but that's going to be the story told in a 12-minute animation short film that we are producing for late 2023, and the name is going to be Les Ricochets. So
you can see the characters here. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, very quickly. So most of the characters, what is interesting in the way we proceed is that all the elements we've produced for the game are also available for the short film, of course. So it's also a clever way to be able to work on very different medias in different times, and even think about books and everything. We also take a lot of time thinking about the music, which is really important for us. You know, thinking of animation is a really important thing, story too, but music is a very important part of the process. So I would like to talk a bit, just a few seconds about Super Naive. We did all the soundtracks, which is going to be, I hope, a good experience for you. So,
thank you. Dordogne will be released in 2023 on most platforms, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and you can wishlist it on Steam.
Whenever you want.
Thank you.
Merci.
Thank you very much indeed for your presentation. And again, this is such a fair view, which I really want to see and watch for a long time. And full of beautiful countries. What did you find, Matthias? And however, how many times you see it, I think this is such a beautiful watercolor, which I really love to see. And with that, such an exquisite artwork and with some reminiscence in your mind, I think. And I really feel like going back to my country. And that's what I have felt. And you were like traveling through the area in Dordogne in France. And I think that probably I would be able to see it through from the camera work in the final version. And then I'm looking forward to see the product and title. Thank you very much indeed. Dordogne, my humanity, nation. Thank you very much indeed for your presentation.
Okay, now we finished the presentation of all 8 works. So, Shin-san, how did you like the last 4 works? It's like a beautiful. What do you think about it? Yeah, you're right. There are a number of beautiful titles, and I was so impressed how they can make it. I was so, it's really impressive. When I see it, when I'm going to play, I feel like seeing like a Dordogne of the last presentation. Like I feel as if I were in France, and I have some impression from the sightseeing like this. Thank you so much. Anyway, so moving on to the next section, that's the award will be announced. So Shin-san, please explain each department. So I try to briefly explain each division. So we are currently counting votes. In the meantime, I would like to hear the impression of the works from the judges. And here, this is the Audience Award Grand Prix and Audience Award Semi-Grand Prix. The Experimental Game Award, here, this is the Sales of Award-like. And that's really experimental one. And the Best Game Design Award is like a groundbreaking one. And the Best Presentation Award is the one that we have an excellent presentation. And again, we are currently counting votes. And I try to ask you stay for a while. And also we have our Audience Award Grand Prix. That's the biggest, the highest one. We have 2 candidates. And finally, we will have another voting from the audiences like you. So please send your evaluation. So we have a number of Pico Pico marks after the latter half. So I'm looking forward to counting. So now in the meanwhile, we are doing still the counting. So I'd like to hear the impressions of the works from the judges. So firstly, Mr. Nobushige Kobayashi from Tohoku University. Thank you so much. So every year I was always impressed with the marvelous titles all the time. But this year especially, I have an impression that I cannot choose one. Again, it's really high-level competition, and again, I feel like a realistic virtual world, and it's a mixture of it. And every title, I was so impressed and I was so excited. It's really difficult to count. Thank you so much. So next is Mr. Isao Kitayama from Kanagawa Shindenken. So this time, I think we have a number of experimental titles. Like they have an idea and they will try something and make into one game. I think of course, not only that, they have a number of ground-making titles, and they have, of course, some trials and errors and introduce some technologies to make it. Or I had a number of experiences, and probably they have really used top-notch technologies, and I'm so interested and also excited to see how fast the development is going and technology's development. We have a number of titles that intrigues you, right? Yes, you're right. And again, next is Mr. Tsurushiga Ramon from Video Game Ninja.
Hi, I have to say that this year we have very good games that some of them I think I can play them at home alone. Others are more to play with my children, for example, or to play in an arcade. Others, some are for explaining me something, like how to say goodbye or Dordong, that are pretty nice. And others are for enjoying to play, like Idea or Scheme. So I think it's a very good mix of games, and I think more or less it's difficult to say which one is best. Congratulations to all.
Thank you very much. ありがとうございます。はい、続きまして NPO 法人
Next is the Okufest Kenji Takahashi from NPO Okufest. As for the third presentation, it's I told you it's a little bit difficult to understand, so I try to have a supplemental comment. So, it's really technically marvelous technology is adopted. Actually, even though we cannot have any impression from the presentation, but I'd like you to enjoy this game if you have a chances. Yeah, you're right. Actually, there are a number of technologies in it, so please visit the booth or watch the videos from them. So next is the Audi Komagata from Irene. Thank you so much. So it's this year we have a number of titles that's really like sense of word like. So they are really unique and number of good illustrations and full of ideas, and I was so impressed to see this. I'm the only one who is not the expert of this industry. Actually, I'm an amateur of this industry, but I love the game. So I really encourage all the participants to enjoy and visit the booth and play the game. So next is the Sony Interactive Entertainment, Mr. Shohei Yoshida. So I was so impressed and enjoyed the presentation. This year, like other evaluators said, this year's titles are quite high level. And they think that not only me, but other evaluators think like it is not one, but they cannot choose one. So if you visit the booth or play actually the game, definitely you will find something really marvelous, and definitely you will like it. So please visit the booth and play the games. Thank you so much. So next is the Katayama-san from Kodansha Game Creators. It's really wonderful and interesting to see, and I think I might buy everything. So definitely, of course, the video is just a video, so you should visit here and play the game, actually. Thank you. So now, yes, let's visit there. So lastly, Kosa-san from Indie Game Incubator. I saw many titles and the Tokyo Game Show this time. I have number of games nominated from all over the world. Like I feel like an impression, like Tokyo's sense of our Tokyo Game Show is like a worldwide basis. And I definitely welcome many participants, I think, of course. And of course, the audiences, please visit us. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all the excellent comments from the evaluators. Isan, do you have anything? Yeah, you're right. Actually, I have the same idea. Yeah, we cannot choose one or two titles. I have a second thought what to do, what to say. So now it seems that tally has been completed. Okay, I would like to move on to the announcement of each award. So my heart is really pounding. And now let's make an announcement. So first, the Best Technological Game Award. The award winning goes for Astro Panic with Cat. Congratulations! So it's coming from Singapore. Congratulations, a trophy and $500 will be represented at a later date. It's the first award from Singapore, right? Thank you so much and congratulations. The next is the Best Awards Award. The award goes to the Frogs and Foxes Trip. Demons from Adashino Island from Japan. Congratulations! So a trophy and $500 will be presented at a later date. Congratulations! So the next is the Best Experimental Game Award. The award winning goes for Morse Arjo Games from the United Kingdom. Congratulations. Trophy and $500 will be presented at a later date. So the next is the Best Game Design Award. The award winning goes to Shuhim from Extra Nice. Congratulations. Trophy and $500 will be presented at a later date. So the next is the Best Presentation Award. The award goes to Rusty Panic with Cat. Congratulations. It's a double winner, right? Yes. Okay, next. Final award. Now you focus on that. So the audience award the Grand Prix chosen by everyone watching the stream. So first of all, 2 works that received many smiley comments during the presentation of each work will be selected as a Grand Prix. Now I will present those 2 works. The first title is Shuhim. Shuhim is nominated. Can you see? Sorry for the wrong picture. Shuhim or Idia? It's audience choice, so now we are waiting for the pictures. Could you wait for a while? I'm really nervous to hear. So the presenter is nominated, but sometimes. Could you wait for a while? We are now double check the results. So now audience award is coming from the audience reaction. So the 2 works will be presented out of 8 titles. So we nominated 2 candidates and only 1 is selected as a Grand Prix. So as I told, it's Shuhim, but actually, okay, Shuhim, yes. I was a bit nervous to hear that. So then again, I would like to announce again. So is it okay? Are you ready for that? Okay then. So you of course know it's really a live stream, so we might have some troubles like this, like technical issues. We haven't had such a troubles over the past 3 years or 4 years, but it's the first time for me. Okay, so then again, I would like to have first title is Shuhim, so congratulations, Shuhim. So the second title is Frogs and Foxes Travel in Adashino Island. Those two titles are nominated. So these selected finalists, please come to the stage now. After this, the title of the 2 works will be read in order again. So whichever work you'd like, Sense of Wonder, and to the work that built, please leave a smiley comment. So again, regarding the smiley comments, I try to say, talk about it. If you think like one pico or smile mark, if you think it's wonderful, then 2 pico. If you think it's perfect, then you can choose 3 picos, 3 smile marks. Please leave a comment again, and my heart is really beating. So by voting smile comments of everyone who is watching, decides this title also. Are you ready? So I try to ask you, the audience, you can choose only one. So please don't say 2. So please put your smile mark on each one. So please don't do both. So first, now of all, I try to announce. Shuhim is the sense of wonder. Please leave a smiley comment, please. So please send your pico mark. We have a number of smiley marks now in the screen. So please put your smiley comment when you think Shuhim is the Grand Prix. You count it? Yes. So super eyeball sensor you have? Okay, we have a number of pico marks. It's marvelous. Marvelous. So it might be difficult for you to put a number of comments here. Maybe you can choose smile rather than pico. So we have a number of picos now. Yes, I would like to end my vote here in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, now we end this. So that's the end. Okay, then. Next, those who think the blocks and foxes travel is a sense of wonder, please leave a smiley comment now. So put your pico mark, smiley comment. So it's a presenter from Japan, so I'm really looking forward to seeing this. So do you count this? Yes. It's really difficult to count. There are a number of time gaps. So, okay, we can see a number of pico marks. So we have row of smiles. It's really difficult to count the number of pico marks. So how can we? Okay, we will close this in 5 seconds for 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, we will finish this. Okay, then we will move on to the results announcement. Okay, we got results now. The work that won the audience award Grand Prix is... Oh, I lost the BGM. Sound effects now. Okay, we will have another sound effect. So, okay, we have the results, and the audience award Grand Prix goes to... This year, Shuhim. Congratulations. And first of all, the audience award semi-Grand Prix, the blocks, foxes travel in Adashino Island. A trophy and $500 goes. So the presenter is Sony Interactive Entertainment, Shuhei Yoshida. Thank you so much. So we will send you the trophy like this. Congratulations. Congratulations. Then we will give you this. Congratulations. So the award interview. So I'd like to ask you your comments. So please give us your comments. Thank you so much. I'm really impressed and really happy, but I feel a bit sorry for that, not the Grand Prix. But thank you so much for the supporters. Thank you so much. Yeah, I know it's really happy moment, but on the other hand, you might have some kind of loser feeling. So the next is a Shuhem. So a trophy and $3,000 gift goes to him, the winner. So Yuki Katayama from Kodansha Game Creators Lab will present this. Congratulations! Here again, oh, this is a big award. So please accept this. Congratulations! So $3,000. It's really. Then I try to ask you how you feel.
I'm speechless. I don't know what to say, honestly. I didn't expect to actually win. I'm just happy to be here in general, and I'm really glad people are enjoying what I do. And yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
So this year's Grand Prix was won by Shumi. Thank you so much and congratulations. So also congratulations to all our winners. So Shin-san, the fifth one was full of exciting works, right? Yeah, I try to continue this again and again and again. I feel like time flies, right? Yeah. And also today, this year's official ambassador of Tokyo Game Show, indie game creator Poppy-san. Pocky, our YouTube channel. Please visit the YouTube channel. She will have some announcement in her channel. Do you know her? Pocky-san. Yeah. He or she will play. Pocky-san will play some games presented here. I'm looking forward to have some comments or the stream. So Shin-san, I try to ask you how you feel this. Yeah, you were right. Actually, this year it's really high level, so the competition is really fierce. So we, of course, have another rest of the days of the Tokyo Game Show. So please visit the booth and play the games on site. So Sense of Wonder Night from Makuhari Messe is now finishing. Thank you so much for the evaluators and also award winners, and congratulations. So next year, see you next time. Thank you so much. Thank you. See you next year. Bye.
スポンサーはソニーインタラクティブエンターテインメント、任天堂、講談社ゲームクリエイターズラボ、イギインディゲームインキュベーター、エルザジャパン、ベンキュージャパン。